Hi, fourth grade scientists. Today we will get started on our first two light blocks lessons. By the end of this video lesson, you should have 2 rows of your light block summary finished. Today I will do everything with you so you know exactly what to do. All right, let's get started.
For our activity 1 for the light blocks, I have these 3 index cards, purple for Lightex and purple of course, and they each have a hole in them. And I've set them up with these binder clips so that they stand straight up. And what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to line up the holes just right, okay, kind of in a straight line, so that if I had a pencil, I could put the pencil through the hole, theoretically, through all 3 holes on all 3 cards. So they're lined up in a row there, in a straight line. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to shine the light blocks at the cards, at the holes actually, and I'm going to see if I can get the light to pass all the way through those 3 holes onto this screen back here. Okay, so let's go ahead and give that a try.
All right, so here I've got the holes perfectly lined up in a straight line. You can see that when the holes are like this, then the light can pass straight through those holes. We can see that the light goes all the way to that screen or that wall I have there behind the cards. Now I've moved the middle index card, and you can see that when the holes are not lined up, then the beam of light gets stopped or blocked. The light can't bend to get around that card that I moved. So, by doing this first quick lesson, we have evidence to support big idea number 1, that light always travels in a straight line. It cannot bend to get around obstacles. It seems really simple and easy, but it is important for us to understand this property of light before we move on and learn more about light. All right, so now I can fill in the first row of my light block summary. I decided to copy the summary into my notebook, so that's why you see me filling it out by hand. However, some of you probably printed the summary, and some of you, I know, saved an electronic copy of the summary into your drive. However you decided to do your summary, you should pause the video here and fill in the first row of your summary with big idea number 1. At this point, we will get started with our second light blocks activity. This one is really quick and it has to do with what happens to light as it travels away from its source. One thing to remember is that light always has a source, like the sun or a flashlight or the light blocks. This example in this picture is showing how the sun's light has to travel 93 million miles through space before it reaches the Earth. Amazingly, it takes the light less than 8.5 minutes to make it to the Earth. And that's because light travels really fast. We call it the speed of light. I'm sure you've heard of it before. When I say fast, I mean really fast. It travels over 670 million miles per hour, so you can see why it only takes a few minutes for the light from the sun to reach the Earth. All right, let's go ahead and watch the demonstration for activity 2.
For activity 2 with the light blocks, we are going to see what happens when the light source is moved around a little bit. We're going to be observing this wall right here. So as I turn the light blocks on, you can see it's shining the light right here against the wall. And here I want you to just observe what happens when I move the light blocks closer to the wall, and what happens when I move the light blocks farther and farther away from the wall. So again, we are watching to see what happens to the light on the wall when the light source is moved. Okay, so I used the red light blocks for that, but there is something similar that happens when I use green. There I am moving far away. Now the light source is getting a lot closer. And the same thing happens with the blue one, just so you can see. That blue light looks really weird on that screen, doesn't it? It's kind of cool. Okay, so here we are nice and close, and now the light source has moved farther away.
What did you notice when the light box was really close to the wall? Did you see how small the rectangle of light was and how bright it was? What about when the light box was far from the wall? Did you observe how the rectangle got bigger and fainter? By doing this quick lesson, we have evidence to support big idea number 2, that light spreads out as it travels away from its source. The beam of light gets bigger and less intense the further you get from the light source. Now I can go ahead and fill in the second row of my light block summary. Boys and girls, right now you should pause this video and fill in the second row of your own summary. Just click play when you're ready. All right, that's it for today's Science Lab assignment. Next time, we will do more activity with the light blocks to further your understanding of light. Bye for now.